Greetings and welcome back, blade lovers. This old sword is with you once again, and we have a new knife brand on the block today. Just came in a few days ago from White Mountain Knives, and this is the Sixleaf, and this model is the SL-02. No fancy names, just numbers, similar to our friends over at Petrified Fish. So here's the box. Full transparency up front. That's where it's made. So either like that or you don't like that. Totally up to you. Now it's about a $35, $36 knife, maybe $37. Less 10% from White Mountain, so you're in the low 30s. It is a D2 knife. Fairly light with an interesting grind, an interesting compound grind. Look at those lines swooping from the heel of the blade up towards the point. And I don't know that they're necessary. In fact, they don't perform any function whatsoever because your sharpening grind is the same all the way through. But again, it looks interesting. The design is by Rattlesnake Designs, and I believe he did a few things thus far for Tucson knives. Okay. The action is quite nice out of the box. I added no oil, did no loosening. Fires very nicely. Does appear to run on bearings from the space I see there, and a little bit of bearing noise that you can hear when you're opening and closing it. I'm sure that can be tuned up. As a matter of fact, we have a clip that's identical to the ones used on Tucson knives in their G10 series. Now this would look to be some form of a micarta weave. I'll call it linen or canvas micarta. It's heavier, so I'll call it canvas for now. It's smooth, so unlike some micartas, it is sealed over rather than being exposed to the oils of your skin and whatnot. So it's a little bit shinier. The ergos are very nice on this. I was surprised. It's a very wide handle. We're going to measure all that out in a moment, but it's pretty broad across the beam, as we used to say of people that had kind of considerable backsides. Broad across the beam. All right. I think I was one of those. Nice thumb swale here. Nice finger choil. Almost isn't a choil because it's, you know, in the vicinity of the flipper and the heel of the blade, but nonetheless it acts like one. You can go here fairly easily. You can go forward from there. You can square your grip up in a hammer grip and place your thumb there. It's fairly flexible in the way you can grip it. It has a slot for a lanyard. And again, as I say, the action, can you feel it? No. No, can't feel it. It's tuned nicely. So fires crisply and without any hesitation or without any real struggle to fire it. Part of that may be because of the tuning and the fact that the flipper tab is far ahead of the pivot. So pretty much light switch only. Got some jimping on there that's fairly aggressive, grips the skin, and you got to come ahead of it, all right? And light switch back, opens and closes, no problem. We're going to do some quick measurements on it. And I'm going to see if I can back out a little more so we get the whole knife in there. It's not a small knife. It's coming in 8 1/4, just shy of that. And it's coming in just shy of 3.5 inches, going to call it 3.4 inches. So not in that 3.5 to 3 3/4 vicinity that I like, but still feels and acts like a large knife. 3.9 millimeter blade stock. And this is going to be significant. 0.69 inches across the handle. You may not want to carry that. It may be a little bit wide for you. But the clip does make it comfortable, even though we've got the domed head screws there. The clip is in set. It's not switchable to the left side. It is point up. Let's talk about weight. So here we go. Drum roll. Here we go. We have a fairly hefty, a little lighter than I thought it would be, 5.29, I'm going to call it 5.3 ounces. 5.3 ounces, so for this size knife, a little on the heavy side, but not an anchor by any means. It's fairly lively. Do we have weight relieving? Let's shine a light in there and find out for sure. I think I got it on bright here. All right, that's a little better. Oh yeah, got some pretty sizable slots in there, so it's lost some weight from what it would be, but nothing on the liner lock side. Exposed liners, fairly thick, and we've got a lockup. I'm going to call that like 40%. Nice and smooth though. Now, one that it made me think of is a Petrified Fish. This is the PF 969. This is a larger knife, but kind of in the same ballpark. And if I were to compare workmanship, this is a $55 item on Amazon or wherever you get your Petrified Fish knives from, maybe White Mountain, since they started carrying them. Looking at the fit and finish, I'm leaning strongly, but still leaning towards the Petrified Fish. They do such a precise job for the money with their models. I mean, these are like really best tech quality in the price range for a $55 knife. This is Bowler K110. So that's the $55 range. Their slightly lower range in D2 is $35. Right about in there. That's where I left off with them anyway. But I just think their detail and their treatment and precision is just a tad better than what we're seeing from Sixleaf. That doesn't make Sixleaf a bad knife. So for in the $32 range or so, $33 after discount, it is a good serviceable knife. You want to call it a beater, you can call it a beater. It's beefy enough to where it's going to hold up, I would think. I'm not seeing any that liner creeping across there anymore. There is no lock rock. There is no blade play. It's a solid knife. But my preference again would be, considering titanium clip and some of the precision milling and just the overall design. Of course, there's like about 10 or 12 Petrified Fish designs at least. It's one of my favorite heavier duty knives too, by the way. Got to carry it a little bit more. Comes with a lanyard. And some of these in the $55 range come with an extra set of bearings and screws and whatnot too. So, all right, we're not going to dwell on the Petrified Fish. That's just a commentary. How about size-wise? Here's the Griptilian by Benchmade, sliding all over the table. So, yeah, it's a little smaller knife, the Griptilian is, than the SL-02. And if we were to compare it to the well-known Rat 1, what have we got? I'm looking directly overhead, and I'm seeing about 3/4 of an inch longer overall. And the blade, about a 1/2 inch longer. So it's a larger knife than the Sixleaf. There's a number of models in these, and they have some wild handles. Some are even glow in the dark. Check them out at White Mountain. And some have like a wire work all through here, and you know, the enamel, red enamel and blue enamel and black enamel. And they're a larger blade slightly than these too. So maybe I'll pick one of those up, and we'll give you a show and tell on that as well. I think that pretty much covers it for this interesting new budget knife starting to come in. White Mountain is carrying them. You can probably find them, I think, AliExpress and DHgate and that kind of usual overseas venue. But White Mountain is starting to carry them. So if you're interested, I don't think you can go wrong. I don't find any flaws for the money at all. Okay, let me know what you think. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I'll be back soon.